How y'all doing again? It is me again. They do call me Kraken, and I am the creator over here at Liberty Woodworks. My wife does help manage my page on Facebook, and she does help stage everything when I get it built so that I can sell it. She's better at that kind of stuff than I am. We've got several projects we're working on, and I'm trying to do a little bit better with my videos. Now I got this bright ass light behind me, which certainly isn't helping anything. Maybe if I come over here, yeah, maybe that'll be a little bit better. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm working on it, man. It's a work in progress. My apologies, hopefully within the next couple of days, this stuff isn't going to be as much of an issue because I'll have a tripod. I'll be able to set things up, and hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit of a better job. So we just finished doing a video here a little while back, earlier today, on the part one, I guess, or of doing the valet tray, the men's valet tray. And sorry, I'm trying to get this set, and maybe it works out a little bit better. Heck, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, right? I know what I'm doing with woodworking. I don't know what I'm doing with this video stuff. And it's funny because this isn't my first time doing this. I've got another channel. I got over 2,000 videos on it. I got like 5,000 subscribers, but it's not woodworking. It was about trucking. So I started a new channel, and I'm having a rough time with it, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, this stuff is over here gluing up for this valet tray. We won't touch it again until tomorrow sometime. And I'm supposed to get some double-sided tape in tomorrow. So we should be able to get working on these other router projects that we're working on. So meanwhile, I had this blank cut, and I'm working on doing a cheese slicing board. And so I think we went through this on one of my other videos the other day, but essentially this is rough. They're all a little different, right? And this one is about 5 inches wide. It's about 5 inches wide and about 11 inches long, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. And they're all a little different. Sometimes they're 5.5 inches wide, 10 inches long, and 3/4 inches thick. I think I've had a couple that are an inch thick. It all depends. It depends on what I've got. We've got this sanded down to 120 grit. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we have this sanded down to 120 grit, and we're about to sand it at 220 grit. But before we sand it to 220 grit, we're going to do what's called a water pop on it. Water pop is simply just spraying it with water. All right, so you want to spray it down with water, kind of like I did when I was cleaning the glue off. But we've got it down to 120 grit, and you want to do this before your final sanding. And what you're doing here is you're just wetting the wood. And what this is going to do is, before I wet this wood down, this thing was pretty smooth, right? It was pretty smooth. But the first time it gets wet, and the first time water hits it, it's going to raise the grain. And so we want that to happen before the customer gets it, not after the customer gets it. Okay. And so what happens when you wet it down is it causes all the fibers in the wood to stand back up again. And then you can come in and you can hit it with your 220 grit, and it gives it that almost glass-like finish, right? So as I'm rubbing my hand across it, now it's starting to feel a little rough, right? Not quite as smooth as it used to. And when we built this one, I chose not to do the epoxy fill. So I've got a black CA glue. It's kind of like an epoxy. And I can fill these voids with it and then sand it back down again. But I chose not to do that. The voids are there, This one's here. This one's right here. There's another one right up here. The voids are here. It's on the bottom of the board. The top of the board is free of voids. There's nothing on it, and we'll be good. So I'm not going to fill those on here. And we're going to leave them, and you know, wood is going to do what wood is going to do, and we're going to let that wood show itself instead of trying to cover it up. So some people may not agree. Hey, that's cool. Some people, you know, get it. They understand, and that's cool too. And anyway, that's what we're doing. So we're going to let this kind of halfway dry, and we're starting to see dry spots in it now. And then a lot of people will let it completely dry before this next step. I don't like to do that. I like to leave it to where we're just starting to see dry spots in the wood, and then I'm going to hit it with this 220 grit on my sander. Apologize for the noise up front. Catch the sides of it also. All the way around. Last side. And then the bottom. Pretty much it. The sanding is pretty much done. It's really got a really smooth finish now. Alright, so you want to do this on anything that you're going to be serving on. Charcuterie trays, cutting boards. A little bit of a spot right there, it looks like I might have missed. Charcuterie boards, serving boards, cutting boards, cheese boards. But you can do this for literally anything. My battery's about to die. This thing has ate up my battery. Just check this real quick. Yeah, you can tell the difference in the tone. There it went. That's alright, I had enough. Alright, battery died on me. And that's okay, because I'm pretty much done. Alright, so there we have it. Alright, that's what we got. Next thing I do with these boards is I always put feet on them. Right, and so we've got these little rubber feet right here. Buy them off Amazon. And what I do is I use this, I set it, I use this square and I set it at 1 inch. Right, and so what I'll do, unprepared, I don't have my hammer, and this is a really bad table to be doing this on. This is a plastic table. It's one of them fold-up tables. Usually I don't even have it in here. Usually I'm working up there, which is probably where I ought to be now. I brought this table in here because I was building a vegetable bin for my brother, and I was building a entryway table for my son, and I needed this table to build all that on, and I finished all that. I just haven't taken it out of here yet. It's kind of convenient to have it, and so I'm going to measure. What I'm doing is I'm measuring in from the end and in from the side 1 inch. So we're 1 inch in from the end, 1 inch in from the side. And then what we're going to do is, hope y'all don't go bouncing around. I'm going to hit this. All right, so this table has a lot of flex to it, and it's just not the right surface to be doing this on. Let's move over here. Give me 1 second. My phone's plugged in because it's almost dead. So let me just kind of move this stuff over here. And it ain't plugged in now. Oh well, hopefully I got enough battery. And my hair is a mess. My shirt's dirty. Honestly, the way you should be doing this is pre-drilling the holes, right? Oh, much better. You should be pre-drilling the holes. I'm not pre-drilling the holes. What I'm using is a center hole punch, right? That's what I'm using on this. And it works, for me, it works great. And it's a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster than drilling the hole out. And you want to get it in there fairly deep, because this is pecan that we're putting this into, and pecan is notoriously hard. And you can, if you're not careful, you can strip out your screws. You'll shear the head right off of them. I've done that before several times. It is not fun. Getting the screw out can be quite challenging. So I find that just kind of punching the hole through with the center hole punch avoids a lot of that, and it does essentially the same thing as drilling the hole out. And so that's what we're doing. This build is actually almost finished. That's particularly hard right there. That did not want to go in there. Alright, so we've got our 4 holes drilled, 4 holes punched in there. Like I said, you can see the voids in the bottom. They'll be alright. Hopefully nobody will care. And sometimes I choose to fill those in. Sometimes I choose to fill those voids in. I don't feel it today. I don't think it's the right move for these, and that's okay. You know, not everything has to be filled in all the time. Wood is wood. You know, sometimes the older the wood is, the rougher the wood is, right? I gotta find something here real quick, and that's not a bad look to have. It's on the bottom of the thing on top of that. So, you know, I gotta get a driver bit here real quick, maybe, if I can find it. How about I just take this whole thing? And bring it over here. These are little bitty screws, and so they take a little bitty number 1 driver, and I think that one there will work. And we're just going to use the drill Put that little driver in there. And we're going to carefully put these in there. You don't want to put a lot of torque on these screws, especially going into a hardwood like pecan. Like I said, you will strip the head out, or you will shear the head off. And you don't want either one of those to happen. You'd rather shear the head off than strip the screw out, because at least if you shear the head off, you can get the base of this thing off, and then you can use a pair of vice grips or something to get a hold of the screw and back it out. But if you strip it out, then you can't even get the damn foot off. And so, shit. I just stripped one out. I mean, I just sheared the head off. So, and it's flush with the base, so this is going to be a little bit of a difficulty here. And it happens. Like I said, though, you'd rather shear the head off than strip it out. At least you can deal with it if you shear the head off. Oh man, this one's being difficult. Ah, shit. And that one I just stripped out. Lord of mercy. Alright, so we have a solution to both of those. It's that pecan, man. That pecan, there it goes. So with the one that we stripped out, you can use the center hole punch and you can knock it down a little bit and it'll go in. Just enough. We were almost there anyway. This one, because it's all the way flush, there's not much of anything that we can do except drive a hole right on top of it. Get that screw out of here. Get us another screw, which is in this box here that you guys are up against. And we'll try to drive this one in. I would hate to lose this project right on the last screw. You know, that would really kind of suck. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And this screw will go in without any problem. But I have experienced in the past building these with pecan. That it will break more than one. And there it is. We got it in. What we want to do now is we want to take it outside. We want to put it on the table saw. And I'll show you why. Because nothing in here is perfectly flat or level. But if you get it out here, we know that the table saw is perfectly flat and level. And so out here we can get with it, and we can see there's just a slight wobble here or here. And I'm thinking it's this one here. So we're going to take this back inside. Not lose track of which one we're dealing with here. Sometimes this happens because, and it's not the wood itself. I checked everything beforehand, and the wood itself is solid. It's not that. It's that these are rubber feet, and they do tend to compress. And so sometimes they'll compress a little bit, and you'll get that little bit of wobble in there. And so I keep something in here specifically for that, and that is stainless steel washers, little bitty tiny stainless steel washers. And we'll take one of those washers and we'll stick it up underneath this foot here, and we'll screw it right back down. That stainless steel washer, you won't even notice it, but it'll give you just that 1/16 of an inch rise on there that should take out the wobble. Okay, so we're going to take that back outside. We're going to put it on the saw table again, because we know the saw table is a perfectly level, perfectly flat surface. It's probably the only perfectly level, perfectly flat surface I've got. And there we go. Absolutely no wobble at all. That completely took care of it. So that part of it is done. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to treat this thing with mineral oil. And mineral oil is my preferred way of treating any of these type of woods that is going to be used for a food safe surface. So we're going to be having food on here, and yeah, it looks like we have a few scratches on there, probably from pounding this thing down. So we're just going to hit it with this this thing's already died on me, but that may have been enough. Yeah. Yep. So I just needed to knock out those few little scratches that put on there. We really need to put that battery on the charger and grab a new battery. All right. Next thing's next, and that's mineral oil. Where did I put it? I think it's outside. Give me 1 second. Come on. There are various places that you can get mineral oil. And all we're going to do is we're just drizzling this on there. This is Howard's Butcher Block conditioner. It's actually the bottle. That's not what's in there. What's in there is just flat mineral oil. I reuse those bottles and I refill them as needed. And there we go. And this is what they come out looking like. All right, so we're going to get this all over this. And this stuff is food safe. It's not going to hurt you. You can wear gloves if you just have an aversion to getting things on your hands. But it's not going to hurt you. Mineral oil is actually not bad for you at all. It's really good for the skin. So take it for what it's worth. I rub it in by hand, and then we're going to let that soak. Put a little bit more on this side. We want to get it into those voids. All right, we're going to get it into those voids there and condition that wood down inside of there. We're going to let this soak in for about 10 or 15 minutes or so. And then once it is soaked in, we will put the hardware on it. And it won't take very long. It soaks in fairly quick. That wood absorbs this stuff. I need another shop towel. I've got another bunch of them over here. It's already absorbing in. We can already start seeing dry spots in there. And so we're going to put the hardware on. And then after we get the hardware on, we are going to treat it with mineral oil again, right? And let it kind of just soak in some more. We'll show you this here in just a second. Go ahead and wipe that down a little bit. It's mostly absorbed in already. When it absorbs that fast, you know that you're going to need to put probably 2 or 3 coats of this stuff on there. But let me just kind of hold that up. All right. All right, so now the next step to this process is to put the cheese slicing hardware on, right? And so I think we showed you this the other day. We do want to clean that out, get all the debris out of there, because we have to get that wire in there. All right, there we go. Let's clean that up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this handle off. Actually, we're just going to leave it on by those few threads. We're going to take this and we're going to put it in the hole. And we may need to clean that groove out again once we get it in the hole. There we go. This thing isn't going all the way in, which means we're not quite done yet. Thought we were done, but not quite yet. So we're going to take this, run it back in here. We need to go just a little bit. Pecan is so difficult to drill through. If it wasn't for how beautiful the wood is and how much I really, really like it, I wouldn't use it, because it is a booger to drill through. I'm telling you, it is not easy. Hopefully we only needed about 1/16 of an inch more. There we go, that'll do it. All right. All right, let's get our wire. Should be right up here. There it is. All right, this is our wire. So the wire's got these two, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's hard to see. The camera's not wanting to focus. I think maybe the sawdust, the dust up here is keeping it from wanting to focus. But yeah, anyway, you got this little wire on here. And so what you want to do is you want to position this so that this open end is right here. You'll set that right inside of it, just like so. My apologies. Just like so. God dang it. You really need two hands for this. Sorry. All right, the next thing that you're going to want to do, I'm going to have to turn this around anyway, because this groove needs to be facing towards the inside. I had it backwards. So since I got to take it off anyway, what we're going to do is we have a matching groove on this piece. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right there. We're going to set that in here. Set that in. Then we're going to push this up through here, like so. Screw the handle back on. And then you want to take all of the tension out of this that you can take out of it. So you don't want to take too much tension out because you'll break it. But you do want most of the tension out of it so it'll cut. And that's all there is to it. This thing is built. Let's go over here to the table. We're going to take some of these towels. We're going to set it down because we're going to treat this with the Butcher Block oil again. Because we're seeing dry spots in the wood here. We're seeing dry spots on it, and we're gonna have to treat this until it stops absorbing the oil. All right, so here we go. This is it. All right, that's it. This comes up, it cuts. This is your cheese slicing board. And the mineral oil is food safe, so it's not going to hurt anything. And it also works as a lubricant, so it's even going to help the cheese slicer. So we're going to put this on here. We're going to let it sit overnight. We're almost done for the night. We'll get these couple videos taken care of. We'll get them uploaded to YouTube. We're going to let this set overnight out here and let it just soak up. And then when we're done with that, we're going to treat it with our board butter. And our board butter is just mineral oil and beeswax. I make it myself. We sell it in our store, in our online store. We give it away. We give it a tin of it away to anybody that buys a cutting board from us that's valued at $150 or more, or a combination of cutting boards and in cheese boards, cutting boards, charcuterie boards, serving trays, any combination of those items that is valued at over $150. We give one away for free. And that's it. That's the cheese board. And this thing is even already showing dry spots. This thing is just sucking this oil up. There we go. Check it out. That's it. That's what we've got. And you can see how it's already drying out right in here. This is drying out so fast that I may stay out here long enough to put another coat on it. I mean, you could just watch this stuff absorb into this wood. So it's probably going to take at least 3 to 4 coats. So what you want to do is you want to treat the whatever it is that you're making, a cutting board, charcuterie board, the cheese board. You want to treat it until it stops absorbing oil. And when it stops absorbing the oil, you'll come back and it'll all be, you just kind of resting on the surface, wet. And that's when you go ahead and you wipe down that excess, let it sit for another 30-40 minutes, and then you'll put the board butter on it. But this thing's already almost halfway dry. So, and we're just going to sit out here for a little bit and then we'll take care of it. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and shut this video down. We've already hit 34 minutes. I would appreciate you guys if you like the video, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, share the video out. Help me get some views. Help me get some subscribers. I'd like to get to where I can go live on here. And I can't do that till I hit 50 subscribers. I don't have 50 subscribers. So we're trying to build the channel up. Channel's here to help build my business up. Any help you guys can give, I would appreciate it. If you've stuck around to the end of the video, give me a shout out. Let me know that you stuck around. Let me know what you think about the cheese board. If there's something that you think I could do different, or maybe I could do better, or if there's a criticism that you have, feel free to leave it, and we'll go from there. Y'all take care. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and peace out.